Hey everybody, welcome back to Hard for Games. I wanted to give you all another update video since you seem to enjoy the last one on a bunch of NR and Wii dev discs. Today, I got a bunch of NPDP carts in the mail from Andrew. Thank you, sir. Same guy that sent the NR discs. And these actually have games on them, so I'm pretty excited. Let's go ahead and get started with our update.
They're hard for games. Games are hard, they're hard for games. Games are hard, they're hard for games. Games are hard, they're hard for games. Yeah, they're so hard. They're hard for games. Yeah, they're so hard.
So yeah, backtracking a little bit, I did mention the NR discs. Now you may have noticed that we didn't cover all of those on the channel. The reason being is because some of them were retail ready. So there wasn't really much to talk about with a final build of the game other than me just saying, hey, it's a final build of the game, and the video being like 30 seconds long, which you would not care about, neither would YouTube, so we didn't do it. That said, we did cover the Wii dev units and the Wii menu installer, and we also did cover the Tales of Symphonia debug disc, which I'm surprised not a lot of people watched, actually. I thought that would be a little bit more popular. Maybe it was something that just wasn't pushed by YouTube, but either way, if you're into Tales of Symphonia or the Tales series at all, we do actually have a video of a previously unreleased, undumped Tales of Symphonia debug ISO, which was pretty neat. And on another note, the owner decided to release the Wii menu installer and also the Tales ISO. So another good thing, they are out in the ether somewhere. Gotta search for them. So I'm not going to go into crazy detail here because I just want to sort of update you all on what I've recently got in the mail, and I'm still in the process of learning about these and discovering what's on them, all that stuff. But long story short, you may remember that I had a NPDP reader and currently have it's behind me, an NR reader, which are two different formats for GameCube development. NPDP is the cartridge hard drive based one that has the Dolphin logo. The NR reads development discs. Now, I used to have one of these. I covered it years ago, but then I made the tough decision to actually trade this for an NR reader in addition to an NR disc that had a particular game on it, which we won't get into at the moment. But either way, didn't have my NPDP reader anymore, did have a means to take a look at NPDP stuff through my GDev unit, but didn't have this beautiful unit anymore. As it turns out, my unit, my NPDP unit, was traded and then traded to Andrew. So actually this is my old NPDP unit, like back in my hands. I was actually joking with my wife that I need to like do the old like childhood thing and like write my name in Sharpie on it or like etch it into the side. But I figured what I should do instead is rip off my old Property of Tony sticker from my old 90s X-Men card collection and just like put that thing smack dab on the bottom, so when Andrew gets this thing back, he knows that it's Property of Tony, even though it's not. So a little bit about the carts. One has Freedom Fighters for, of course, the GameCube on it. I don't know if it's a final build. I don't know anything about it. Still in discovery phase. The other one was an NPDP cart that was utilized by Neversoft Software. So if you're familiar with the Tony Hawk series, then you know Neversoft. He basically would put the NPDP cart in here, and they have different sectors. Some of the sectors had memory card like test software, but one sector did actually have a game, but it would crash. So Andrew contacted me and he said, hey, this thing isn't loading on my NPDP reader. Damn, like, I had to say NPDP so many damn times. Anyways, he said that he had heard that the GDEV units have more RAM, and some games were just built to utilize that. So he's like, hey, can you give it a try on your GDEV unit? And I did, and it booted. And it's actually a beta/debug version of Gun by Neversoft, which I actually own the PS2 and Xbox version of just from thrifting, but I haven't played it yet, and I've been meaning to just for years. But looks like I'll finally be able to, but just in a completely randomized order, and just like going around killing cows and just doing crazy crap. Basically just playing it in a way that I never thought I would, which is kind of the theme of Hard for Games. I don't really get to play a lot of games from start to finish because I'm so busy. I end up just playing a bunch of games using level editors and like debug stuff, just ways I never expected as a child to actually be playing these games, but I can still get some enjoyment from it, which is definitely good. It's also why I drink. Don't get what I want, get what I need.
God damn it!
So, real talk here, I am actually much better with dumping NR discs than I am with NPDP carts, and I also, back in the day, a couple years back, never really ran into any NPDP carts that had anything on them. So I opted for the NR reader instead, as I had already mentioned. Preserving NR stuff, to get it set up, it's cumbersome, but it's doable. NPDP stuff, I never really had a grasp on. Some people did try to contact me and explain different ways how to do it. A lot of it involved like modding, manipulating, or destroying a GameCube. Often it was very technical, difficult, and like it just way overcomplicated. So I'm asking all of you, comment below, send me an email at this email address if you know how to dump NPDP carts, because it would be very helpful for me to be able to learn how to properly do these so we can preserve the content on these cartridges, hard drives. And lastly, Andrew also sent over a prototype GameCube controller. Now, obviously, you can see that this thing looks different, both because it's missing buttons, but also because it's just designed differently. Now, I'm not going to get too much into this today, because if I did, then there wouldn't really be a need to do a video on the controller proper, because there's not a whole lot to say to begin with, other than the fact that just aesthetically it looks different. There are some other things, but nothing we'll get into here. So again, everybody, I really appreciate you all watching. I figured I'd do another update video because, again, you seem to enjoy the first one, and not everything that gets sent over that I'm working on ultimately gets a full video. So I figured this would be kind of a good way to gauge interest, but also kind of just let you know the scope of some of the things that we work on here at Hard for Games. So aside from that, I appreciate you watching, subscribing. Make sure to hit that notification button, ring that bell, blah, 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 and we'll see y'all next time.
They're hard for games.